Hey, hello, bonjour. Hi guys. So today we are going to be talking about the private pilot's license here in the UK. Some of the questions that we're going to answer today is, can I become a pilot? What are the minimum requirements to hold a private pilot's license here in the UK? How many exams are there? How's the training broken down? And at the end of the video, I'm going to give you one bonus point on exactly how you can get started with your private pilot's license here in the UK for as little as £100.
So let's take a look at the minimum requirements. 1. You've got to be over the age of 17. 2. Pass a Class 1 or a Class 2 medical exam. I know exactly what you're thinking, guys. I thought exactly the same. How do you only need 2 things to be able to start your private pilot's license? Think about it. 1. You've got to be a sensible age to be able to control, maneuver, and have an understanding of exactly what's going on. And 2. You've got to be medically fit. You won't be able to fly on your own if you have any medical conditions where you may feel unconscious or anything like that. So, medical is so important, but ultimately, those are the only 2 minimum requirements. Your training is actually broken down into 2 segments. The 1 is a 9 theoretical knowledge exams that you must complete, and 2 is the flight training. The minimum hours you need is 45 before being able to take your skills test. Let's take a look at the flight training and see exactly how it's broken down into different segments. Stage 1. So when you first go to your first few lessons, your instructor will be teaching you on exactly how to prepare the plane for the flight. You'll carry out the pre-flight external checks and make sure the aeroplane is in good condition to fly. When you're doing your external checks, you're going to be making sure that visually that there's no damage to the plane, there's not been any bird strikes, there aren't any nuts or bolts loose, there's enough air in the tyres, there's no leaks and spillages, etc. Just like doing a visual inspection of the plane to make sure that you can't physically see anything wrong with the plane at all. Once you've got a good understanding of handling the aircraft, you're actually going to be learning how to take off and do the landings. You'll be doing plenty of circuits with your instructor where you're continuously going to be taking off, coming into land, and doing a touch and go. A touch and go is basically where you perform a landing of an aircraft, your wheels touch the ground, but instead of coming to a complete stop, you actually accelerate and take off again. Once your instructor is confident enough that you'll actually be safe enough on your own, you will be doing a solo flight on your own. So this will only probably be about 10-15 minute flight where you take off, complete one circuit and land, but it's one of those things that you will always remember.
A very important piece of information about being able to fly solo. Before your instructor is allowed to send you off solo, you need to have passed your air law exam. For those of you who hold a driving license, effectively you need to do your theory before you can take your driving test. It's very similar to with aviation with the PPL, so you need to have passed your air law exam before you're allowed to fly solo on your own.
So you've proved that you can fly solo effectively on your own and safely. Now you actually need to get your hours up and have a minimum of 5 hours of solo time before being able to move on to the next stage.
Navigation and cross country. Without a doubt, navigation and cross country was my favourite part of my training so far. Why? This is simply because this is at a stage when you actually get to feel like a pilot. You take off, you land at another airfield, you get off the plane, you look around, take a break, have something to eat, and jump in the plane back. That's why it was probably my favourite part of learning. As a requirement for the PPL skills test, you actually need to complete a minimum of 150 nautical miles cross-country journey. What that means is you have to take off from airport 1, land at airport 2, take off again from airport 2, land at airport 3, and then take off from airport 3 and return back to your first aerodrome where you took off from originally. In total, you must have 5 hours of solo cross-country navigation. The 150 nautical miles that you've done will take up most part of that, but you will also return, come back, maybe plan another journey.
Revision lessons. So this is where you summarize all what you've learned so far and actually put those skills to the test. Your instructor will probably do some mock exams with you, take you on where the instructor will be taking you for the exam locations, and just trying to get you as comfortable as possible with the aircraft, with the maneuvers, and what you're going to be asked to do in the skills test. So your skills are going to be put to the test by an approved examiner. I don't think they're actually looking for perfection at this stage, but what they are looking for you to do is to be safe, to have an understanding of exactly what goes on around you, keep a good visual inspection of what's around other planes, etc., and just show that you have the skills to be able to fly safely on your own. Let's take a look at the theoretical exam side of things. Air law is the most important one. Remember, you need to have completed your air law exam before your instructor is allowed to send you off to fly solo. The best way to pass these exams is actually to read the flight books. I know there's a lot of them, but they're honestly the best way for you to learn. They've got a wealth of information in them, and you can always keep them in case you ever need the information once again. And as a bonus, I'd always recommend getting the additional flight training manual as well. What that allowed me to do was, let's say for instance, I was having a lesson on stalls the next day. I would actually be able to read up on stalls before my flight, have an understanding of exactly how things work before going in there. So effectively, that saved me a lot of time, that saved me money as well, and I think that was a great tool that helped me with my training.
So now we know exactly how the course is broken down to be able to get a private pilot's license here in the UK. So this is my one tip that I promised you. Get a trial flight, get a trial lesson, get a trial flight, whichever one it is. Guys, this is so important. You can pay approximately £100 and that would give you a trial lesson for around 30 minutes. You'll go up with an experienced instructor and you will be able to have some controls. The instructor, depending on how you feel, how comfortable you are, he may give you some controls and just let you do some light maneuvers. But this is the best way to go actually enjoy yourself. You'll have a great time out there and you'll actually decide and get to see if this is something that you want to proceed with. As a current private pilot's license student, this is exactly where I started. I went and had a trial lesson at the flight center that I'm training at the moment to decide whether I wanted to continue with this or not. I'm going to post a link in the description below where you can actually purchase a voucher for a trial flight. This website will actually have approximately 12 to 15 different airfields, aerodromes, training centers in the UK, so wherever you are, I'm sure you'll be able to find one close to you. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you found this video useful and informative. If you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments below. If you'd like to see more of my videos about my aviation journey, please feel free to give me a like, give me a subscribe. Until then, I'll see you next time.